Is the hot sellers market crashing and going in favor of buyers? Well, today that's what I'm talking about. Hi, this is Melissa Ballman, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Salt Lake City area. So what that means, if you're looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text, send me an email, do what you got to do, but get in touch with me. But today I want to take a look at the unofficial way that July ended for the greater Salt Lake City area, focusing on Salt Lake County and Utah County, and talk about if the market is starting to shift in favor of buyers. So I've actually been feeling this for a couple of weeks, so I couldn't wait to pull the July stats from the MLS to see if my hunch is correct, and it actually was. We are starting to see a little bit of a shift in our days on market. I have been seeing more and more price drops on houses, which means the sellers are trying to get crazy pricing and just throwing homes out there to see if there's a buyer out there that's the unicorn that will buy it. Or two, we're having to wake up as sellers and get realistic about what buyers are willing to pay for housing right now. So that means like I said, I'm seeing more price drops, and I've been noticing that the houses are staying on the market longer than they were at the beginning of the year or end of 2020. So I pulled the stats from the MLS. Now, the July stats are not finalized, but it gives us a good rough number because we're almost a week into August. And sure enough, the days on market are creeping up on average just a little bit for Salt Lake and Utah County. Now, it's not much, but when you're taking an average, every little bit helps as a buyer. Okay, so keep in mind, July is historically a slow month for real estate in Utah. It's actually not that far behind December because of our two holidays. So I want to give you a perspective that for Salt Lake County, our days on market has gone from 13 days average in June of 2021 to 14 days in July of 2021. So here's where some good news is coming into play for buyers. And I have my paper written down because I don't have a photographic memory and I'm not going to remember these off the top of my head. But for Salt Lake County, our days on market went up 1 day from June of 2021 to July of 2021. So it went from 13 days average to 14 days. But get this, the average sales price in June was just over $554,000, and in July it was just over $553,000. Now, in June of 2021 in Salt Lake County, from our average list price to what our average sales price was, people were actually paying about $17,700 more than what a home was listed for on average. But in July, they were only paying, and I say only, like it's still, I realize it's a lot of money, but they were only paying about $13,600 over list price. So we had about a $4,000 drop from June to July in Salt Lake County of what people were paying over list price. I hope you're enjoying my video so far today. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell. That way you're alerted each week when I drop a new video. And if you're on Facebook, hop on over to our private community page called Salt Lake Life. And there we talk about all things living in the greater Salt Lake City area and really Utah as a whole. Now for Utah County, not as substantial or as great as Salt Lake County, but in June of 2021, the average days on market was 16 days. And in July, it actually went down in Utah County to 14 days, at least as of now, what's being reported through July. Now, the sales price in June in Utah County was just barely over $523,000. and it was just barely over $518,000 in July. So the average sales price did go down from June to July in Utah County. And looking at the stats, like I mentioned with Salt Lake County, in June, Utah County, they were paying almost $15,000 above list price. And in July, it was just about $13,500 over list price. So again, a couple $1,000 drop between what people are paying over the list price from June to July in both counties. So what's going to happen in August? Well, most kids along the Wasatch Front are going to be going back to school on August 16th. So what that means is a lot of people are going to hunker down. They're either not going to want to list their house unless they absolutely have to because their kids are now starting school. But there's also less buyer competition if you are looking to buy because, again, people have their kids in school, so they're not wanting to buy a home and uproot their kids right away. So the last few years, it's really hit and miss. We've had 2 years where our sales have increased from July to August and 2 years where they have decreased from July to August. And so it's going to be interesting to see how 2021 plays out for the month of August. But looking at our average days on market right now, and we are 5 days into August, we're averaging about 31 days on market for active listings. Now, when I look historically at the last 120 days, the average days on market for sold listings is around 16 days on market. So what that's telling me is even though we're only 5 days into August, we are seeing that increase, which means sellers are going to need to be realistic. So you're not competing as a buyer with tons of other people. Like I said, I'm seeing price drops more and more frequently. I'm seeing more sellers that are willing to work with FHA and VA buyers, where at the beginning of the year, it was really hard for FHA and VA buyers. So I don't want to overwhelm you with a whole bunch of stats because after all, that's really boring to watch and listen to for too long. So if you have any questions about the real estate market, feel free to reach out to me. I am always here to help. But as always, make it a great day.